The wisdom of the ancients warmly greets you, dear friends and audience. Today, I will speak about 33 hidden rules of society. Master these rules and you will find shortcuts achieving success earlier in life. Please listen carefully. Number 1. Why is it that in the upper class, everyone lifts each other up while in the lower class, people trample on one another? Because those in the upper echelons know that their peers are powerful, capable. Therefore, if I dare to step on them, I will surely face a retaliation just as fierce, and I cannot be certain I can withstand that counterattack. Supporting each other and collaborating, it brings mutual victory. Meanwhile, in the lower class, people trample one another because they know that even if they do so, the other side can't do much about it. They're all on the same level, fully aware of each other's limits, with no one standing out. So I don't fear you, that's the truth. Number 2. The way for an ordinary person to progress quickly, the retreat mode. Find a quiet house, sufficient to meet your daily needs. Except for emergency contacts, sever all ties with the outside world. Live simply, devote all your time to thinking, researching documents, focusing only on the one issue that perplexes you most, the problem you most want to solve. This retreat mode, lasting just 1 to 2 months, holds the value of 3 to 5 years of aimless living. Practice this retreat regularly, and each session will bring a major breakthrough. Bill Gates, when founding Microsoft, often used this method too. He isolated himself in a place free from any interference. Each retreat lasted 1 to 2 weeks, and after every session, he achieved significant breakthroughs. Number 3. After reading this, you'll no longer worry. If your grandparents stood firm in the countryside, your father could move to the town. If your father stood firm in the town, you could reach the province. If you stand firm in the province, your son can advance to the big city. If your son stands firm in the big city, your grandson can aim for even greater goals. Each generation is a relay race. Each generation must strive to its fullest. Raising children isn't for early retirement, nor for leaning on them in old age. Parents aren't a harbor forever. A good family, it's the resonance of generations. One generation builds so the next has a stronger foundation. A noble family, it takes at least 3 generations of effort. Number 4. Keep others' weaknesses in your heart. Understand them clearly, but focus only on their strengths. If you only see flaws, you'll never find anyone usable. But if you focus on strengths, no one is unusable. Harnessing both the strengths and weaknesses of others, that's the pinnacle of employing people. Number 5. Don't place too much hope in your children becoming dragons or phoenixes to change your family's fate. To change your circumstances, you must give your children a good starting point. Don't let it reach a point where, in old age, you still resent learning, your life is chaotic, your work a mess, you lack patience with your kids, and then you just blame heaven and earth when their academic results fall short. Hurting your children's spirits, or even threatening them with force to make them study, it's a mistake. Many live the opposite way, failing to set a good example themselves, yet demanding too much from their kids. The right order is this: parents must strive upward first. When parents succeed, the children need only a little effort, and they can surpass 90% of others. If parents don't succeed, no matter how hard the children try their whole lives, they might still linger in poverty. Number 6. Methods to change your fate. 1 is destiny, 2 is luck, 3 is feng shui, 4 is accumulating virtue, 5 is reading books, 6 is your name, 7 is your appearance, 8 is your spirit, 9 is meeting benefactors, 10 is nurturing health, 11 is choosing a spouse and career, 12 is avoiding danger, 13 is enduring hardship without complaint, 14 is doing good without weighing right or wrong. Read this list backward. That's the way to transform your destiny. Number 7. The people of old haven't gone far, they simply stand still. You must realize most people in this world are like computer characters. They lack much self-awareness, born into a cycle of birth, study, work, marriage, and death, repeating across generations. They're fixed in one place, doing one job their whole lives. Their repetitive cycle, it sustains the basic functioning of the world. Only a few possess self-awareness, programmed to awaken in their youth. Once awake, they can break through all barriers of place and thought, roaming freely, fulfilling their predestined mission. birds in a cage, they cannot be confined forever. Those with self-awareness, they awaken themselves, and it happens suddenly. Don't try explaining the world's secrets to those computer characters, for they lack the capacity to grasp such principles. Number 8. Seek power in new environments. Whenever you enter a new setting, you must identify where the core power lies. Then, find every way to approach those who hold that power and the people around them. Use a few small skills to catch their attention. Without this awareness, you'll have no direction for growth, just working hard blindly without choosing a path. You'll waste so much time and opportunity. If you stay far from those wielding core power, the chance of being forgotten or sidelined is high. Your ability sets your limits, but if noticed by the talented, your limits can rise immensely. Number 9. Don't place too much hope in anyone. Believe human nature is inherently good, and you'll suffer your whole life. Don't believe human nature is inherently good, and you'll live happily forever. In conflicts, the greater the stakes, the clearer you'll see people's true selves. Don't expect too much from anyone. Think more about your own value. If you lack worth, yet speak of love, it's just shackles for you and others. If your pockets are empty, and you cling to excuses like morality, conscience, or pride, that's just foolishness. Money determines your capability, and it shapes how others treat you. When you're strong enough, the world will soften toward you. If you abandon growth and career, squander your life, then blame your spouse or boss for casting you aside, that's merely the behavior of the weak. You must become exceptional, forcing others to weigh the consequences of hurting you. Number 10. Your background only decides your first 20 years. Your origins shape just those first 20 years, but the relationships around you, they determine your entire future. The average income of the 5 people you interact with most, that's your income. You must learn to borrow others' knowledge, resources, and experience. Instead of building a boat to cross the river, borrow one to pass. A horse that doesn't graze at night won't fatten. A person without external wealth won't grow rich. If you can catch up to someone brilliant, stick close to them, and within 2 years your life could transform, free of worries about survival. This is the truth about those who rise from humble beginnings. Number 11. The art of dealing with people, it's understanding human nature deeply, grasping their weaknesses, then leveraging or exploiting benefits to achieve your goals. First, favors should start small and grow. When granting favors, begin modestly and increase them so people always remember your kindness. If you start with grand gestures, then taper off, they'll gradually forget your generosity. Second, credibility should shift from strict to lenient. To establish authority, start firm, then ease up gradually so people both fear and respect you. If you begin with leniency, then turn strict, they'll only resent your coldness. Third, favors and authority shouldn't be too frequent. Desire is a bottomless pit, habits a boundless sea. Whether granting favors or asserting power, you must mind the frequency and count. Too many favors and people grow dependent. Stop and they'll hate you. Too much authority, and its impact fades, easily stirring discontent. Number 12. On creativity. Most who claim to have creative ideas, they're simply ignorant and lacking knowledge. If you were truly creative, you'd have won a Nobel Prize by now. Those who call themselves creative, they just don't realize their thoughts were pondered and recorded long ago by those before them. Thinking they've innovated, they've merely not read others' breakthroughs. All of us, we learn from the achievements of predecessors, building on their experience, imitating, referencing, and tweaking slightly. Without accumulating knowledge and experience, creating entirely from scratch, it's impossible. Only when you dive deep and fully into a problem, a field, or a craft, do you spark the inspiration to make small improvements and stand out. Moreover, creativity doesn't mean everyone needs it. What matters more is whether you can solve real problems or meet people's urgent needs. Number 13. The enlightened, they grasp that earning money's core is exchanging value, not just hard work. They know money's purpose, it's to circulate, keep it moving, and you can gain it. They understand money is a tool, an energy, a resource, a gift. They recognize time's importance and start cherishing it. Time is life. They know how to use time, for meaningful acts, seeing problems' essence, acting by laws, building methods rooted in nature and principles. Someone who's seen through society's laws and human nature's truth realizes these two are not just linked, but bound. Follow them and life flows smoothly, prospers. Defy them, and you'll face endless obstacles, hardships. Number 14. Diligence brings clarity. As you focus more on yourself and strive relentlessly, you'll grow ever sharper. All your energy, it'll enter a purification phase. In 1 to 2 years, you'll climb a new rung, bidding farewell to many, your mind clearing countless things. A person's fortune, it's often unfavorable, shrouded by too many polluted fields. When your luck turns, you'll naturally drift from the negative, troubles fading away on their own. Once you've cleansed the toxins, your complexion and aura will brighten greatly, your life turning vivid. In the next phase, you'll meet good people and a positive cycle will begin. Only those who've stepped out of the mud truly know what an ordinary life feels like. Number 15. Everyone pays a price for their awareness. Einstein once said, "To solve a problem, you must stand above it, not drown within it." When our awareness upgrades, it's not that we find the answer, the problem just vanishes. For the highly aware, every second is worth money. They never waste time on pointless internal strife, always seeking solutions. If unsolvable, they let go and move forward. Development-related issues they resolve through growth. For the less aware, every second breeds anxiety. They conjure useless inner conflicts, turning their lives into pure tragedy. Everyone pays for their awareness. Maturity, it starts with daring to challenge your own perceptions. Life's two greatest lessons to hone. 1 is intelligence, 2 is foolishness. Choosing a path, you need enough smarts to think, plan thoroughly. Picking right outweighs blind effort. Once the path's set, become a fool, persisting without sway from outside forces, unconcerned with outcomes. Forget everything, just focus on doing. The overly smart, they quit after a few fruitless tries. The overly foolish, they don't ponder direction, diligently toiling at nonsense on the wrong road. Like the Qing dynasty's Boxer rebellion, wielding knives and spears against imperial guns. In the end, they didn't even touch their foes, wiped out completely. All failure, it stems from learning the wrong knowledge. Number 16. People with grand ambitions, but no destiny, cannot succeed. You won't always meet benefactors or have resources. Everyone faces times without heaven's timing, earth's favor, or human harmony. When opportunity strikes, things align smoothly, seize it boldly, seek the gains. But when the tide passes, no matter how clever you are, success is hard to grasp. In unripe times, don't grow lazy or abandon faith. Instead, use that idle span to amass knowledge in a specific field. When enough accumulates, knowledge turns to experience if practiced. If untested, it remains just knowledge. When chances are absent, focus on gathering wisdom. Read books, join courses, learn from experts, patiently awaiting your moment. Number 17. Don't give others a chance to do wrong. Someone comes to borrow money, you pity them, so you lend a sum. They thank you profusely, but 6 months later, when you ask for it back, they switch off their phone, block you online. Whose fault is it, ours or theirs? I used to think it was theirs. Now I see it's ours, because we gave them the chance to do evil. The truly skilled, they rarely offer others such openings. If you must upset someone, do it early, not late. When someone asks to borrow, they'll say plainly, "When I have money, I'll lend it to you." The other gets it instantly, both save time. Sometimes, it's not that the wicked are too vile, but that we're too kind. Us not harming others doesn't mean they won't scheme against us. Follow human nature and you'll go far. Second, learning to deal with people, it's often just pleasing them, avoiding offense, lifting them up, lowering yourself. They flatter, praise, compromise, yield, bow in public, offer drinks, open car doors, mind their attire and manners. They're willing to suppress themselves, to delight others, stifling their own temper. This is called handling people, but it's just basic etiquette, insufficient for life's realities. True handling, it rests on analyzing your own strengths, finding your edge, and constantly sharpening it. Set your principles and boundaries to pick the right people, discard the unfit. Use your value and ability to draw others in to trade resources. Don't humble yourself, enduring or yielding when you lack real strength, for that only makes others disrespect you. Number 18. Strive early, past age 20. If you still haven't grasped the importance of hard work and earning money, haven't found joy in relentless labor, you'll slowly sink into a life of laziness, play, and ease. Don't let those urging you to live slow, live calmly sway you. These folks, often struggling themselves, make excuses to convince others to stall too. Or perhaps they spread this message to sap youth's drive early, turning them into labor for a few, their prime years drained unknowingly. You must love your work, find ways to enjoy money-making tasks. Don't live a falsely peaceful life, scraping by day to day, sustaining a family, befriending, tending your mental health and theirs. For it all needs money. Earning just a few million a month, can you endure that life for 10, 20 years? Don't let your existence grow cheap like that. Focus on work, on career, labor tirelessly, build absolute strength, ceaselessly create value, solve others' problems, meet their needs, earn money in return, to lift your life's quality. Only with money can you savor life, experience more. Glance at your account balance, and you'll see the reality. You need to work, need a career, need to earn, for your family relies on you. Number 19. Person needs a sound state. A healthy mind, it matches the challenges one's faced. Many succeed at work because they've never met true villains or found colleagues, friends of like mind. Thus, their faith stays intact, letting them do much, achieve much, their lives ever radiant. But those tested, bearing pain in body and soul, only a few overcome. Facing a bad company, a rotten boss, harsh parents, or a deceitful partner, they must conquer immense hurdles to process, heal, rebuild. Only those with vast energy can fully recover. Most others, they're scarred deeply. Human life has two states: untested, forever naive, or surviving countless trials, yet returning as youthful, vibrant souls. This world, it's skewed by the luck of survivors. So always respect others. Don't look down on anyone. You might just be luckier than them. Don't assume those beneath you simply didn't try hard enough. Number 20. True maturity, it's not just hearing and understanding. Real growth, it's not stopping at grasping a lesson, but shifting from learning to comprehend, to learning to think, and finally to applying it. True maturity, it's stepping into circles of excellence, learning from the right people, the right knowledge, then adding heaps of practice. Spend 10% of your time learning, 90% acting. Often, what sets people apart is turning knowledge into deeds. Some, after one lecture, can instantly start a business, earn millions. Others, studying years, still can't turn wisdom into wealth, just moved by their own efforts, never proving progress with results. They don't gauge their striving by advancement to see if they're truly pushing. In the end, they don't even know how the market cast them out. Number 21. Humans from birth are not equal. Competition among US, it's a contest of generations, not just one. Look at others' grandparents, parents, what did they do in their youth? And you? Why demand fairness? Accumulating effort over generations, gathering enough resources, that's what sparks a generation's rise. Most lack this awareness, so each generation starts near zero. Others' families, they've built thick foundations, then soared. Your lineage, with no buildup, passes down near nothing, leaving your kids, grandkids, to fumble from society's lowest rung. What do you have to compete with them? Those with nothing, who say grandkids have their own blessings. They're just shirkers. Others' children, from youth, access what education, what ideas. Your kids, what do they touch? Number 22. On the mad game of capital. In Vietnam, there's Van Thin Fat Group's Trong My Lan. In China, there's Lu Yi, controller of Hunan's Xinpu Group. Why call him clever? He founded 6 rural banks, yet his name appears on none, not even in Xinpu Hunan's shareholder list. This man, he used puppet shareholders, proxies holding stakes to perfection. Only deeper probes revealed, he quietly joined and controlled over 10 rural banks. Why say he's smart? He wielded the internet. Through borrowing platforms of firms like ByteDance, JD, Xiaomi, rural banks, once limited to local funds, expanded wildly, harming tens of thousands. Why call him shrewd? He excelled at networking, famed for guts. At 29, he won the Lam V Highway project, later dominating rural banks. No lone man could do this. He built a vast web of ties. Why say he's brilliant? He foresaw today. His citizenship switched early to Cyprus, a tiny Mediterranean isle, yet part of the British Commonwealth, an EU member. His passport, visa-free in 171 nations and territories worldwide. Before those rural banks officially crashed, he fled to the US. And now, between China and the US, no extradition treaty exists. The final key question: can the money be reclaimed? It hinges on its classification. If deemed deposits, people can rest easy. Deposits have insurance, up to over $1 billion in compensation. But if not defined as deposits, then number 23. Youth from 20 to 30, they must perfect their awareness. Perfecting your perception, what's that? It's crafting your own system of laws and truths, studying only core principles, methodologies. All else, it's illusion. Learning without real worth, it's not just useless, it's poison. True insight, it takes one sentence. Illusions, they can fill 10,000 pages. Number 24. The essence of things. War's essence, it's seizing resources. Love's essence, it's satisfaction and possession. Humanity's essence, it's survival needs. Business's essence, it's equal exchange. Money's essence, it's value. Relationships' essence, it's mutual use. We must see through appearances to the core, focusing on what's vital, grasping the crux. Number 25. Why not casually teach others knowledge? In the Analects, there's a saying, if they're not eager, don't enlighten. If they're not struggling, don't guide. Raise one corner. If they can't infer 3, don't repeat. Roughly, if learners don't strive to understand and fail, don't teach them. If they don't grasp it, can't fully express it, don't instruct. It means when they haven't tried hard to comprehend and don't get it, don't point it out. When they haven't self-understood, can't articulate it whole, don't awaken them. If you teach one thing and they can't deduce 3 more, stop there. Learning, it hinges on reasoning and self-thought. Yet most ordinary folks, they lack these skills and the drive to learn. You teach, they don't study, or study but can't apply. That's time wasted for both. Number 26. Those who can transform completely, they're the ones who break all limits of awareness. Shattering limits isn't enough. You must smash yourself to rebuild. In truth, the thoughts in your head, they're not fully yours. From birth, others planted them there. This makes people only able to take in their class's ideas, repeating that class's fate. You're a copy of those around you. The core of breaking class barriers, it's shattering your mind's chains, shedding low-tier notions, grafting on the upper-tier's thinking. But this, it's incredibly hard. Most, facing ideas clashing with old beliefs, first reject, resist, even attack. Only by denying your old thoughts do you get a shot at piercing your class's mental walls. This process, it's the liberation of thought. Number 27. What is the soul? It's sincerity, understanding, lived experience, courage, sharp gazes, the worry in your eyes, compassion, vast knowledge, a lone figure, swift thoughts. These fine traits, they're a person's soul. You can't see them, only feel them. When the soul stirs, love naturally blooms. Number 28. What's an appealing character? A truly mature person, they carry a magnetic persona. Such people, their energy field is strong. Near them, you feel at ease. Your own energy flows freely. They can read others' hearts, rich in empathy, always understanding, affirming you, guiding you to your best self. For what you've faced or haven't, they've mostly been through it all. Number 29. Your environment will assimilate you. In a place of low thought and awareness, you'll be absorbed. Those you meet, they shape your perception, your ideas. Thought and awareness, they're contagious, seeping into your subconscious, slowly shifting your consciousness without you noticing. Beware those with poor quality thinking, awareness. We don't target them, don't attack personally, just guard against their ideas. We respect, treat all kindly. But with perception and thought, we must be utmost cautious. What you feed your subconscious, it decides your thoughts, ideas, the images your mind crafts. That sparks emotions, sways your choices. Choices plus feelings and acts yield results. Low-grade awareness, it breeds wrong decisions, leading to bad outcomes, even disasters. We need to be near high-quality people, not for their superior bodies, but their stellar awareness, passing on progressive, valuable insights. Surround yourself always with the exceptional. Number 30. When refusing others, be firm. No means no. Even if you decline gently, give a clear answer. Don't be vague, letting them cling to hope. If they ask for help and you can't do it, they'll find another way. If you waffle, letting them waste time and money on you when urgency hits and you can't aid them, how will they recover the loss? Those who can't refuse decisively, leaving others hanging, they'll face backlash eventually. You're troubling them. If you meet such people, best not engage. They don't just hassle you, they heap trouble on themselves. In love or business, always refuse clearly. Number 31. Don't let others harbor vague hopes. Refusing outright, you help them stop dreaming. Toying with people, scheming, treating them as backups or playthings, it harms them. And that, it's like triggering negative fallout. Number 32. Learn lifelong. If you've spare time after work, ensure you keep learning, always. Once you've learned enough, apply it to work, to life. Don't idle. Keep working to earn, studying, training your body, wasting no hour. We all know this rule, but check yourself. Does your life revolve around work and learning? Use time well. Years later, you'll thank yourself for never halting progress daily. Number 33. A stagnant mindset, it's no good. View the world with a growth lens. Young folks who don't worry, most aren't awake. This shows their worldviews still fanciful like fairy tales. In the 1980s, some became millionaires through lucky breaks. Some then thought they'd achieved financial freedom, no need to grow more. Their kids too, hitting small wins, grew smug, believing they could now coast. But they didn't see. They just cashed in on a rare era, wholly blind to the world's growth laws. So, from the 80s to 90s, they ceased advancing. The result, they were left behind by time. In a sense, worry signals alertness. It shows you where you stand, how hard you must push to gain what you want. From there, you'll value life, miss no chances. Whether you hold a strong hand or not, don't get cocky, don't fool yourself, strive, keep growing. Even with a weak hand, don't give up. Play each card patiently, skillfully, to make the game thrilling, victorious.